marketing was in college with a couple of internships. I worked at Source Magazine in advertising, and then also at Capitol Records in tour management and marketing. And then professionally, my first, I guess, real job was at an agency, a boutique marketing, full service marketing agency called the Sharp Alliance. We focused on sales, partnerships, and marketing and brand development. We had like a vast list of clients that included nonprofits, celebrity personalities, brands from all categories, and even more one-off events like a professional women's conference or kind of exclusive VIP experiences. So just a vast clientele, and really focusing on developing brand partnerships and developing brand strategy for different clients. We were often times brought on board to help a client build their brand awareness in whatever business category they were in, from a chef who was looking to kind of build his brand in the restaurant world to a chocolate brand who was looking to rebrand itself in the U.S. market. And then we also worked with nonprofits and seeking corporate sponsors and partnerships. So I was at the Sharp Alliance, where I learned everything from sales, marketing, partnerships, PR, brand development, basically everything that's underneath the marketing umbrella. And it's led me basically to where I am currently, which is Hollywood and Highland Entertainment Center. We're a mixed retail, entertainment, dining property that is home to the Dolby Theater, which is where the Oscars take place, and we're located in Hollywood, California, smack dab on Hollywood Boulevard. So I'm the director of events here, in which I manage and execute brand activations, special events like concerts, and as well as filmings here. And yeah, so that's where I am currently, and I use my department, special events, to kind of elevate the marketing and brand positioning of the property itself. So I do dabble in a little bit of marketing here for the property as well. From when I was at the agency, and I'm going to refer back to when I was at the agency, because I've only been at Hollywood and Highland for about a year and a half now, and I was at the agency for about 10 years, which is all my life. So when I was working on the agency side, for instance, for an event called NAPW, which is the National Association of Professional Women. It's a national women's organization for professional women looking to connect with each other. We worked on their women's conference, and so we did everything from refreshing the programming and branding of the conference for 3 years in a row. We aligned with corporate partners and sponsors like Lenovo, Spanx, to add kind of a legitimacy to the organization, and also raise corporate funding for the organization to host their annual conference. And we also assisted with kind of the marketing and brand development and media partnerships for the organization and the conference itself, to help kind of extend the audience reach and get it to women who don't know much about the organization. So that's what we did for like more an event side. For instance, personalities, celebrity personalities. I worked with Chef Sam Marvin, who is the founder of Bottega Louie here in Los Angeles, which is a pretty famous restaurant. He went on to create another chain called Echo Rig Steakhouse, which is in Las Vegas and Sacramento. So we helped to kind of establish what his brand identity was, led his PR initiative. So, you know, getting placements in anywhere from Food Network shows or food festivals. So we sought out TV and event opportunities for him. So we did a variety of things that kind of all assisted with building brand awareness for, as I mentioned, events or personalities. And then I think the last client we worked with that really was about establishing the brand was a brand, Mondelez brand called Green and Blacks. So Mondelez is formerly Kraft, but they reintroduced the Green and Black chocolate brand in 2017 to the U.S. market. and they wanted to attract a more affluent consumer base. So the agency that I worked for, we were hired to kind of seek opportunities to build brand awareness here in the U.S. market and reposition the brand to a different demographic. So I personally helped assist with doing TV integration. We had product placement on the Chew. We created a partnership with Gilt Noir, which is Gilt.com is a huge marketplace for clothes and stuff. So we did like a digital marketing campaign and promotion. We did in-store gift with purchase programs with like Ted Baker, Topman Malls. So, we basically were hired as an agency to kind of think of those out-of-box things that, again, help to build brand awareness, help to develop brand within the marketplace. So those are type of things that we did to assist anywhere from, like I said, personalities to events to bigger brands kind of establish their brand. Client basis, it's having those sit downs, having those weekly, get-togethers to kind of establish what are going to be the tactics to help build a brand. So oftentimes, a client will come to us and they don't even know where they want to start. They're just like, well, we just want to get our name out there, or we're looking to attract this demographic. And so, as an agency, we just sit down. We listen to what they want to do exactly. We go back and do our due diligence and understanding what's happening in the marketplace, especially with competitive brands. And then we kind of take a I guess I don't want to say multi-pronged, but like we take an approach of how do we reach out from a PR perspective, marketing, even establishing what the brand is, and work that all together. So it's really hard to say what we do for each client because each client is completely different. But I think we're always touching base with the client on a weekly basis. We're also connecting our clients with, if we don't know how to do it, with experts in the field. From an agency side, you deal with a lot of different consultants or outside parties, and oftentimes need to work together as a team. We all have different objectives. And then from an agency side, we really try to figure out, I guess, an overall strategy of how we work all these pieces in building a brand, like I said, from PR, marketing, branding, advertising, and really, really make it all come together as a cohesive campaign, if that answers your question. So there's not like specific things that we do. It's really, I think it's on a client basis. It just really depends on what they really want to focus on. We have some clients that are focused on, I just want to be on TV, or I just want corporate sponsors to become aware of us. So it really just depends on the client needs that they usually come to us with. That can be wide ranging. I haven't had the opportunity to work really with startups. I've had the opportunity to work with brands that have kind of hit a plateau and are now like wondering, how do we go to the next level? And in doing that, it just takes creative thinking, and it's always good to have, I guess, new eyes and ears to understand the product or service they're trying to do. I think I'm trying to think of the last client that I worked with, which was kind of from the ground up. I worked on a campaign called Everwalk, which was led by a woman named Diana Nyad. She is I think the Olympic swimmer who swam from from Florida to Cuba. She's the only woman who's ever done that. So she's really big in the health world, and she wanted to establish a campaign called Everwalk, which is all about cross-country walking, because everyone can walk, basically. It's every little bit that counts, and even if you're not the healthiest person, you can walk. So we created we created the branding for it, the website development, partnerships. We sought out corporate sponsors to be a part of it. What else did we do for that? We ended up creating a really great partnership with what was it? I'm trying to think if it was Unilever. No, it was Johnson and Johnson. Sorry, they became the founding partner of the campaign, and they hired us. Everwalk was Diana Nyad was just a one individual. They came to us from an agency, and when I say we were a boutique, I'm talking about we're like 3 to 5 people agency, and we really took on the role as a CMO for her brand. I think when clients are seeking agencies, one, do your research and always see what kind of other clients they've worked with in a similar category to make sure that they have, actual campaigns that have worked. Word of mouth, of course, is probably the biggest thing with, startups working with agencies. It's people that who have worked with them in the past. And, you always want to work with agencies that believe in your product or service. It's hard out there. Everyone's trying to make a dollar, but when you have people that really believe in your product or service, they're going to go above and beyond, which is oftentimes what I did from an agency side is, I really believed in it, and I did everything that fell outside of my role and responsibility to try to help to build a brand or anything like that. So I think that's what I really would recommend. And also, partnering with agencies or a consultant in something that you don't know. If you don't know, it's always good to work with the expert in that category. You might not know, so just partner with somebody who has that knowledge and that background. I mean, social and digital is the way of the world, and where it's transitioning to outside of, typical print, radio, TV, even outdoor. And I mean, the great part of, I'm all for social and digital promotion and marketing because it's more controlled environment where you can track ROI and it's more immediate and, as I mentioned, trackable than, some of the old fashioned forms of advertising and media. So, I mean, we got to get with the times, and that's the way it is. But it's an exciting time, that's for sure. Because there's, like I said, it's a controlled environment where a novice can really take on building a brand. Anyone can really build a brand now, as long as you are knowledgeable. So, and that information is so accessible. So, I think it's positively impacted media. It's evolved media. It's enabled startups to be able to really make cost-effective decisions and really be able to track, their marketing and advertising. Recently, I worked on an NBA All-Star campaign with Foot Locker, but they partnered with both Nike and Adidas for All-Stars. So I actually brought that to our property, Hollywood and Highland, because we have an amazing event space, open event space. So I met with Foot Locker, and just so happened that All-Star was going to be out here in Los Angeles, and LA is such a huge market. So everyone was looking for places to activate, and I'm glad that they came to Hollywood and Highland, and we really acted as partners, and were able to create some amazing events. The first event that we had with Adidas was with Rick Ross and 21 Savage. They also did a influencer basketball game with James Harden, so that was cool. And then Nike did more of a community-based activity with Kyrie Irving. So we got the best part of NBA All-Star, in which we did something for the community and we did something that was a little bit more buzzworthy and entertainment. So that was super fun, and that was a lot of different people to work with. Like I said, it was Foot Locker, it was Nike and Adidas. So making sure all their vision came to life, and everyone was happy. That was really great. And I think another project that I worked on that was really actually a really creative project, and really kind of, stretched me as far as my knowledge of marketing and advertising, was for the Green and Black chocolate brand. We were hired by VaynerMedia to basically create, campaigns, programs, promotions, partnerships that build awareness again for the rebranding of the chocolate brand here in the U.S. market. And there was my first time doing a TV show integration I worked with UEG and ABC to do that, which was a really fun experience because all the background logistics to get something on television, and then it was also a giveaway. It's a lot of details. Also, it stretched me to think a little bit out of the box, like what would I do with the chocolate brand, and that's why I established a partnership with Guilt Noir, which was an affluent audience or affluent market for Guilt. And it really resonated with what the brand was trying to achieve in reaching kind of an upscale audience that was more health conscious and environmentally conscious. So creating that program, because that was also an in-store program as well as a digital media program. So those two were probably most creative things that I worked on that was kind of a first for me. It's always fun when you get to again do something that you've never done before. It's exciting, it's challenging, and then you have it in the books for you, and now there's so many things that I can do with that experience. So I would definitely say the president of the agency that I worked for, the Sharp Alliance. Her name is Kathy Sharp Ross. She's been in the marketing, PR, corporate partnerships world for the past 20 years or so, but she was really a great mentor. She enabled me to, again, put my fingers in everything, and I worked from the ground up at her company. I started out as an assistant, became an account director, which only shows you how much she opened up doors for me, and taught me so much of everything that falls under marketing. So she's definitely who I consider to be a mentor. And then my mother, she worked in the entertainment world for forever in the studio side. And always was an example of the grind of the entertainment world, but the excitement from it. And she was always classy with it. So, I think those two women have been definitely a great influence to where I am today. But a lot of my stuff that I use as resources, I mean, typical, always read Wall Street Journal, New York Times. You need to know what's happening in the marketplace, period, and know the background of what's happening with these companies. But for more of the marketing focus, I follow a couple of online platforms. Brand Channel is an excellent digital platform that actually gives you daily emails that showcases what brands are doing, from marketing campaigns to events. Marketing Week is also a good one. Deadline Hollywood, since I work in Hollywood, I get notifications from Deadline Hollywood, and that's a more studio-based things, TV networks and things of that sort. Media Post. Let's see, Event Marketer is a good one. They always are giving you some exciting events that brands are putting on, including Biz Bash. That's another good one that shows you some really creative event styles that brands are doing from an experiential standpoint. And I think last but certainly not least is ANA .org. It's the Association of National Advertisers, I believe, but it's really a great organization that has the top CMOs and C-list, C-suite level executives as members. But they host a lot of events. I just came back from an event that was focused on brand activation. But they do some amazing conferences, including one that they do every year at the end of the year that has like all the top CMOs. So that's a good organization to always keep track of. They're a great resource as well. So there's just some of the platforms and some of the organizations and resources that I personally use. It's all about the stars aligning, needing preparation. So always stay ready, be knowledgeable about your business category in particular, and what's going on in your industry. And then, bringing on agencies or other, consultants that might have better expertise in certain lines of business. So for like PR or marketing, just aligning with other people that are really knowledgeable about the space and actually have a network around that space is really important. But honestly, keep focused and hustle hard and be knowledgeable about what you do. That's probably the biggest tip I would give to entrepreneurs. On Facebook and Instagram, it's at Hollywood and Highland. And on Twitter, it's at H&H Center, I believe. Yes. You'll see some of the fun and exciting things we do, from movie premieres. We do all the world premieres for movie studios. We just had Avengers, and we did Black Panther, which was really fun. And we do really cool brand activations. We like to have, you never know what you're going to get here. So that's where I would recommend you following. And if you're out in LA, stop by. And then me personally, you can follow me, add me on LinkedIn. It's at Lindsay J. Hurlic, middle initial letter J. So Lindsay, Lindsay J. Hurlic, Hurlic. Add me, message me. I live on LinkedIn, so I will always get it. I'll always pretty much respond. Give me some time, but I love it. It's a great way to connect with people, and I'm always looking to connect with people.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.